I'm an idiot. She's
Mm-hmm.
so right. And it, like, I think you know me well enough. I don't do that very often.
No, you don't. And that theme music means one thing and one thing only. It's time for episode number 35 of the Promo Upfront podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Bill Petrie. With me, as always, the Emperor of Women's Empowerment, the one and only Dr. Kirby Hassman. Kirby, how the hell are you?
I'm doing well, my friend. The sun, you can actually see it kind of over my shoulder here, peeking through. We've lived through a pretty cold stretch here in Ohio. I know you had some challenging weather there in Nashville as well. And today was just one of those days that kind of makes you ready for spring. It's like 55 degrees. It was sunny. I had a chance to be out and about in it, and that puts me in a pretty good mood. How about you, bud?
Thank you for asking. Same here. It's like 65 degrees outside, not a cloud in the sky.
Nice.
And as soon as we're done recording this podcast, I'm pretty sure I'm going to crack a nice cold beer and sit out on the back 40 and enjoy this early spring day. But you know what else I enjoy, Kirby?
What's that, Bill?
Thank you for knowing to ask. That'd be our good pals over at J. Charles. You know, we all know them as the reward and recognition and award experts.
Yeah.
We know that they are. I mean, that's just a fact. It's a pretty simple fact. But what they really do is help you exhibit excellence. And I love that tagline. You know, in the new economy, it's more important than ever that excellence in the workplace is recognized, rewarded, and really exhibited so people can see it. With so many of us working remotely, it's super easy to feel disconnected. And awards and recognition is one of the ways to really help people feel connected back to the office. It's where thoughtful, elegant, and memorable merchandise from J. Charles really comes in. And what I love about J. Charles, more than anyone in our industry, Kirby, J. Charles understands that in the new economy, recognition and awards must be part of the organization's culture if they want to attract and retain employees that are truly engaged. They know that recognition boosts people's self-esteem and performance. They know that recognition signifies that someone notices and cares, which is huge. And they know that recognition is increasingly important in today's business environment. I know it's important to you when you're attracting and retaining talent.
Yeah, I mean, the thing about it is it's certainly doubly important because of the remote work that we're seeing. But the fact is, even those who have gone back to the office, you know, this is not a brand new thing. It has been, you know, brought to the forefront because of this. But we need to be showing recognition and appreciation for people who work for us and for those who do business with us on a regular basis. It's one of the things that there's a gap there.
There's a huge gap, and there's no one better than J. Charles to really fill that gap, fill that void, especially if you know, distributors who are listening and your clients are looking to create that connection, that sense of ownership in the jobs that people do, and you can exhibit that excellence. I think it's a wonderful thing. And plus, I know you've seen their drinkware. It's fabulous. It's elegant. Cool. It's sophisticated. It's refined. It's drinkware that expresses gratitude. In fact, it's drinkware that's more than just kept, it's exhibited. So you want to learn more, and gosh darn it, why wouldn't you? Head over to J. Charles right now, jcharles.com. Learn how you can help your clients exhibit excellence. Now, Kirby, this is the part of the podcast where I normally would tell you, hey, Kirby, it's time for the upfront portion of the podcast where we have a promo-specific topic. We're not doing that today. Or actually, we're kind of doing that today. I'm not sure exactly what we're doing today, but March is National Women's Month, and something you and I have done from the beginning of our podcasting history is we've always taken one episode and really dedicated the vast majority of it to powerhouse women in the promotional products industry. I think it's very quickly become one of our favorite episodes, and we get to do that today. And so I'm real excited to do that. We're doing it a little different this year. We actually created some categories, kind of like an award show, although there's no awards given. All the women we're going to mention, and many who we're not going to mention because we don't know, and that's shame on us. We say that every year, but we're going to mention a lot of people who, if you don't know them, you need to, in some really cool, fun ways. I hope people enjoy it. Yeah,
absolutely. It's one of those things where, in thinking about this, I both love and hate this podcast because, I get it. It gives me the opportunity to think through people who inspire me, but I know every time I'm doing this, I'm like, God, I'm forgetting people. And so my apologies in advance.
Yeah, we're going to forget people, but it's not intentional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
100%.
just a little transparency. We're always a little transparent on the podcast. We came up with some categories earlier this week, so we each would have the chance to work independently on them. We don't know each other's answers, or people were putting in specific slots,
Right.
and that's purposeful. So there's probably going to be some crossover, but we really wanted to give it some thought and really highlight some people. So let's go with the first category, Kirby. That would be distributor woman to watch. Now I have a couple of honorable mentions, if I can mention those, and maybe you do as well. So
Yeah.
some distributor women who really are on my watch list are Tracy Klingen from Genumark. She's VP of sales over there. Just killed it at SKUCon
Nice.
in January, talking about company stores.
Love it.
Jillian Utesh from Brand Fuel.
That's a great
She is super, super creative. And if you talk to anybody at Brand Fuel, she is a dynamo and someone to be reckoned with.
Absolutely.
And then Alicia Skipper from Promo Pros down in Houston. Really fun, energetic, and super smart. Who are your honorable mentions?
Yeah, I'm going to give you a couple. So the ones that popped into my head, and you know how I think we do this a little differently. Like generally speaking, what I do is just like who comes into my head, and then if I can't come up with enough, then I'll do a little bit more research. So
that's how I did it, by the way. That's exactly how I did this.
So my first one that pops into my head is Mandy Rudd. Mandy is a person who not only runs a distributorship, but she's one of those people when you talk about distributor to watch, she inspires me by the causes that she takes on. Obviously, big slick. She's passionate about pets, all that sort of thing. So
Absolutely.
I love that. And I'm going to go with Shannon Walsh Laredo. Again, she's a person who inspires me. Her workout, her new side hustle, her the business that she's the distributor business she's doing.
Right.
She's another one that fires me up.
Awesome. Great choices. And I thought of those two as well. And I purposely didn't pick them. I thought you might. So, I mean, there was when I thought, okay, I think Kirby might pick them. So wanted to highlight some other people. Okay. Who's your number one distributor woman to watch?
I'm going to go Kara Keister.
Love Kara. That's a great one. I've not have that one. So that's awesome.
So Kara is working with Roger Burnett. It's Social Good Promotions. I love their business model. I love what they're all about. And she's one of those people who kind of makes me feel like I want to up my game. So Kara.
That's awesome. I went with Sarah Webb from In Tandem.
Oh, that's a good one.
I had the pleasure of working with Sarah during when we were both at Summit Marketing, and we always kept in contact. And to watch what she's built at In Tandem Promotions down in Georgia is nothing short of phenomenal to me. So I put Sarah Webb in that category.
That is a great one. I did not have Sarah down, and she's a dynamo. That's exactly right.
All right. Do you want to go with our next category, Kirby?
All right. Supplier woman to watch. You want to throw your honorable mentions at me?
I have a couple honorable mentions there. I have Megan Corey from Hit Promo. She is comes from a long lineage, a proud lineage of people in the promotional products industry, and she's fabulous. She was recently, she's the most immediate past president of PPAMS. She's now out of service there. Great job. Kate Plummer from Clearmount. She also is the co-chair of Promo Kitchen. So there's that. Meg Erber from SNS. She's just really done such a great job in the last couple of years, not just being more present on social media, but giving so much on social, which I really, really love. And I love the company she works for. So those are my honorable mentions, Kirby.
Cool. My honorable mentions are going to be Heather Mangold from Raining Rose. Love what she's doing. Sort of just, again, she's just so sweet. And I just love everything about Heather. And then Dawn Brown. Dawn Brown is with CPS. She's actually the current president. She just took over for OPA. So she's not only on the supplier side, but she's doing her serving thing through OPA. So those are the two that pop into my head.
All right. So my number one woman supplier to watch. This is a double Raining Rose category. Lindsay Davis from Raining Rose.
I love it. That's a good one.
I served with Lindsay on the rack board. She was president. I was vice president, and she is such a fireball of activity, and she is incredibly brilliant. And what I mean by that is she listens more than she talks. And then when she does speak, there's something usually very smart coming out of her mouth. So I'm a huge Lindsay Davis fan.
Love it. That is I could not disagree at all on that one.
Yeah, there are no wrong answers.
Yeah, that's right. That's true. So mine is Meg Erber. So that was
Love
my,
it.
absolutely. So you kind
Love
of
it.
detailed it. One of the things that she's been with the industry, she's been with social. I do love how she has taken the forefront and really become, there's just not
Mhm.
enough female voices when it comes to content, and Meg is
No.
taking the forefront on that, and I think she does a great job.
One thing as we're going through this, and we'll pick up the pace a little bit, so this isn't a 4 hour long podcast, is it's becoming less difficult to find women to talk about. And I don't
Yeah,
mean that in the
that's
negative way. I mean that in the most positive way. I think women are really just killing it in our industry, and it's so much fun. All right. Service provider women to watch. I have a couple of honorable mentions. Do you have any honorable mentions
Yeah, I'll
or
go
no?
first on this
Okay.
one, just because
Okay.
one super obvious that I got to mention, and that's Kelsey
Okay.
Cunningham,
Okay.
your partner there at brandivate. I
Yep.
think that we all know that, just like I am the talking mouthpiece of my company and Amy's the brains behind it. I think that certainly that Kelsey does a lot behind the scenes, and you often are the face of the organization, but I know she puts a ton of work and creativity into it. And then I'm going to go Emilia Model. Emilia
Okay.
Model has taken another, I'm a big content guy.
Mm-hmm.
I love the step forward she's taken on that. And so I
Yep.
love that as well.
Very interesting. I have Emilia Model on mine as well as an honorable
Okay.
mention.
I love it.
She working with her at Promo Corner, she is really putting herself out there in terms of video content. That is not an easy thing to do.
Totally.
And it's out of her comfort zone. And I think she's done a great job in doing it consistently. So Emilia Model. I have Jessica Gibbons Roush on there. She
Yeah.
is a promo kitchen chef. She has her own business and does a really nice job in terms of consulting. Very smart, very creative. And then Dana Geiger, who just
Yes.
re-entered our industry. She had a very quick cup of coffee out of the industry for about 4 weeks.
Okay.
When she left PPAI, and then the Premier Group was smart enough to snatch her up, and she's now the executive director there. But my number one service provider woman to watch, Alina Rubinstein.
Okay. Yeah. I love that one. That's a great one.
I've gotten to know her just because her and her business partner started Live Too, and just hearing their story. And I've been on a couple podcasts with Alina and had a couple conversations with her. She is a really bright light and easy and fun to watch. I really think she is a really bright future. And I think she's someone everybody needs to pay attention to.
That is a wonderful choice. I love that. I'm going to go, this will be a little outside the box, I think. My
Yep.
number one is Jamie Watson. So
Okay.
Jamie
Yep.
is
I
with
know Jamie.
Certified Marketing Consultants.
Yep.
She's one of those people that makes me think. She's sort of a financial advisor. She helps businesses not only create their valuation, create their brand value, and then sell. And she's just one of those people that when I talk to her, I feel smarter. And I had a conversation with her recently, and I was like, ooh. And she's a service provider for the industry. And so Jamie Watson.
Jamie Watson, great choice.
Love it.
It's my turn or your turn? I have lost count. It's your turn.
I'll go for it. So the next one we have is Woman on the Rise.
Yeah.
So Woman on the Rise.
I have a couple honorable mentions.
Yep.
Heather Mangold from Reigning Girls. You mentioned her earlier.
Yep.
She's terrific. She's bright. She's awesome. And the other one I have is Ashley Coletti from Common Skew. She is in sales over there. I have had the honor of being her mentor through the Promo Kitchen mentoring process. And to say that I get something out of that would be an understatement. I think I get more out of that mentoring her than she does. She's just a real dynamo. So those are the two I had for Women on the Rise.
I love it. I'm not going to spend a ton of time.
Oh, and Taylor Borst. Sorry, Taylor Borst is on the rise too.
Absolutely. So I'm not going to spend a ton of time. You've actually given descriptions to two of these. Lindsay Davis is on my right. And again, I know that she's already served and has risen, so forgive me. But Lindsay Davis and Kate Plummer are the two that popped into my head as honorable mentions on Women on the Rise.
All right. And my number one Woman on the Rise, this was actually the easiest one for me. Melissa Newman from ASI. I think she has come in and just completely changed the social that ASI is putting out. That's not to say what Vin Driscoll and the other guys there are doing, but she's really upped the game. And I think she's such a great addition to that team. It is a team effort, but I think she is someone to really pay attention to. She's on her way up in the industry.
I love it. And I'll tell you, my number one was actually really easy too. Taylor Borst was my Woman on the Rise.
There you go.
I think it's the same concept. I mean, she has, I would make the argument that Dana Zezo has been a mentor to her, and she has taken the social media game through TikTok, through video, and she has like she has really taken it to a new level. I absolutely love watching her TikTok product videos. She's
Yeah.
a hoot, and to talk to her, love it, absolutely love it.
Cool. So now we're getting some of the more interesting, fun ones. Not that they're all not interesting. So this is the woman trailblazer, and I actually I don't think I put this on the notes I gave you. I decided we should call this, and I arbitrarily decided we should call it this,
Okay.
the Janelle Nevins Courage Award, because Janelle Nevins was a terrific lady. She passed away about 8, 9 years ago. I had the pleasure of working with her at Summit. She mentored a bunch of people, Sarah Webb being one of them, but she broke so many barriers in terms of being a woman in a man's world. She landed Coca-Cola. She broke up that old boys club. And so
Wow.
I think that's why I thought we'll call it the Janelle Nevins Award.
Love it.
But some of my honorable mentions, Kathy Chang, we talked about her a few weeks ago, what
That's a
she's
great
doing
one.
at Redwood Classics in terms of really trailblazing sustainability, creativity, in doing it in our industry. I put Charity Gibson out on that on the honorable mention. I mean, when I think of someone who has trailblazed social, I think of two people and two people alone. That's Dana Zezo in our industry. That's Dana Zezo, and that's Charity Gibson. And Charity is, such a force for good in our industry. She seeks to help everybody, and she's really blazed a trail. And then the last one I put as an honorable mention was Michelle Bell from ASI.
Yeah.
She runs a very big media department at a very big media company, and again in a male-dominated industry. And so I think those are my three honorable mentions. I have my winner here as well.
Cool.
What are your honorable mentions? If
So
you have
I've got one honorable mention on this one, just because again you actually mentioned one of them. So it was Kathy Chang. That's totally spot on. Carrie Cowden was one.
That's a great one.
Yeah, again, jumping into with the Promo Cares podcast and really kind of becoming a voice for giving back and doing good in the industry. So Carrie would be my honorable mention there.
Carrie's awesome. All right. And so my number one, and this is not self-serving, but I actually put Kelsey in this category.
Love it.
I wanted to put Kelsey somewhere in this because I do think she could fit anywhere. The reason I put her here was one reason alone. She could do anything. She could do anything. She took a very big risk. It takes a lot of courage to do what she's doing. It takes a lot of courage to do something with somebody like me, who you talked about earlier, that I'm the mouthpiece, and sometimes that's difficult.
Right.
And so to the financial risk, the professional risk, and so that's not lost on me. And so for her to do that as a woman in this industry, I do think is trailblazing. It is not a self-serving thing.
No, absolutely. I have no problem with, again, there are no wrong answers, right?
There are no wrong answers.
So my number one trailblazer, and you outlined it, it's Charity Gibson. Charity Gibson is, again, she's the number one online influencer in Dale's list of the online 18. That makes sense. It's exactly what you said. She has been a leader in the social space, and she's done it in a generous way, and I admire that.
Awesome. All right. Your turn. My turn. Your turn.
Okay. The next one is most creative woman. So most creative woman. So you have honorable mention.
I do. Allie Stone from Jack Nadell in Chicago. She is an account executive in Chicago, and I'm friends with her. I've known her for 15 years, and she comes up with the most creative solutions for her clients. Unbelievable. Most creative I see on the distributor side, to be honest with you. Melissa Mccauley from Numo. I think we all know what she does.
Yeah, that's a good one.
On an annual basis. PPAI Expo is her playground, and she is on another level. And then Kate Mayswitch from Cometskew, the marketing that Cometskew comes up with, all of that flows through Kate Mayswitch, and that's a testament to, people think simple is easy. They do a lot of simple but effective advertising, and that flows through Kate. So, do you have any honorable mentions on the creative side?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Jessica Gibbons Rausch. I see the content she creates, the social she creates, and I think she's one of those people who kind of like Charity in a sense. She's got her fingers in a lot of different projects, and so you don't always know. I think that it's Jessica, and so Jessica's the one that sort of pops to my head on that one.
Awesome. Well, my most creative woman that I picked for this year, or just, the one that popped, was Jody Schillinger from Maple Ridge Farms.
Oh, that's a good one too. Yeah.
She has, she runs a lot of things over on the farm, as they would say. But if you watch her Instagram feed, she is an excellent skilled photographer on the level of almost like a Brian Stidham, who's a great photographer in his own right. And then the marketing they've come up with in terms of really focusing on influencer marketing is a really cool thing, very creative, and I love what they're doing over there. Who's yours? Who's your pick?
So mine's Johanna Gottlieb.
That's great.
Yeah,
That's a great one.
Johanna is she is such a driven force. I've loved over the last year or two, her taking the lead in Promo Kitchen, certainly.
Yep.
But in doing that, she's done more podcasting. She's done more putting herself out there on a creative space. And to be fair, I absolutely love the fun stuff she's doing with TikTok right now.
She is.
And it's for me, I'm getting a chance. Like, I feel like I've known Johanna a little bit. And so but I'm seeing a different side of her from a content perspective, and I'm loving that.
That's really cool. One thing I just want to mention, I keep saying winner. It's not winner. Everybody here's a winner. That's not a contest. So it's just the way I wrote it out. It almost looks like a winner thing. So nobody's winning anything. It's not a contest.
I think it's really important to note that we are not sending you any prizes. Congratulations, though.
Here's your prize. Okay, so last one. I love this category. The woman you'd hire to run your company. So do you have any honorable mentions, people you'd consider running your company before hiring someone?
Yeah, I mean, this is one that I think it's important to note that, of course, it isn't even to hire the company, or maybe it's here's the caveat I'd give you: the person who I'd want to work for. So that I'm, it isn't that I'm hiring them. It's
That's fine.
A leader of the company. So my honorable mentions are obvious to me. Amy Hasseman, because she is the person who runs a company that I work for. The other one's actually, and no one will know this person, but Emily Bradford. And Emily is my assistant.
I do.
And she is a person who literally keeps the trains running on time here at our company. I don't say that enough. And I think, again, just like we were talking about, I get a lot of credit in my life for shit that other people do. And Emily and Amy are the people who make all that happen. And then I've got one other honorable mention. I've actually already mentioned her, but it is a person who popped into my head. It's Johanna Gottlieb. She's another person that I would say, if she's doing something, I'm in.
So I have some honorable mentions. I had Amy Hasseman as mine. If she can keep you in line, she can certainly run this place. No problem. I have Kelsey, of course. I mean, I'd be remiss if I didn't. I mean, she is running the company.
Yeah, love it.
I put Catherine Graham, obviously. I think she is still, she keeps Mark in line, but more importantly, she's really the vision, and she might not be the vision of Commons Q, but she is the nuts and bolts that make that place operate and make it work. And she is incredibly brilliant. And then my other honorable mention was Mary Jo Tomasini from Competitive Edge.
Yeah, she's great.
She is such a terrific lady. I got to know her quite a bit when she was chairwoman of the PPAI board, and just a lovely presence, a very calming presence, someone I would trust implicitly to run a company.
Dig it. All right, cool.
All right, who's your last? Who would run the company?
Who would run the company is Catherine Graham. She is just one of those people that I always say that there are certain people in our industry. This is going to age me a little bit, but remember the campaign E.F. Hutton?
Yep. When people talk, we listen.
Yeah, that's right.
When we talk, people listen.
Yeah, when E.F. Hutton talks, people listen. Catherine Graham is that person for me. As whenever, it's so funny when she came here a couple years ago and went through, her and Mark were lovely, and they visited, and we sat in front of this computer, and they were walking through different ways that we should rethink how we're formatting our process and our flow. And there were a couple different times I was questioning her, I was pushing back, and at the end of it, I was like, I'm an idiot. She's so right. And I think you know me well enough. I don't do that very often.
No, you don't. We all say that. But...
fair. So Catherine Graham for me.
The woman that came to mind to run the company was, if it wasn't Kelsey, it would be Brittany David from Snugs.
Ooh,
I think
that's
she
a great
is
one.
Again, that even keeled temperament. She's got a very wicked sense of humor if you get to know her a little bit, but she's incredibly bright, able to process a lot of information quickly, and is very decisive, which I think is fantastic.
I love it. That was fun.
What a fun list. That was, hopefully everybody else got a lot out of this, and we'll figure out a way to post this somewhere so people can see it. But I got to tell you, this really is one of my favorite podcasts we do every year. I absolutely love it, Kirby. Love it.
Well, and again, I thanks to each one of these people on the list for leading in the way that you do. I mean, I think, one of the things that we talk about is that whether it's through content, whether it's through business, whether it's through sales, there's so many times where you're doing work, your head is down, and you wonder, does anybody give a shit? And this is an opportunity for us to go, no, really, people are paying attention. Not that we matter, but we're noticing all the hard work that's being done, and it is well appreciated.
It's appreciated, and it's inspirational. It's
Yeah.
motivating,
Yes.
to see what these wonderful ladies are doing, and just fantastic. I love this podcast. You know what else I love, Kirby?
What's that, Bill?
Promotional products. I love them a lot. So
Okay.
today, my favorite promotional product is
Oh,
this
nice.
3.5, I think, yeah, 3 inch by 21 inch horizontal bar mat from our good pals at Logo Mats.
Yeah.
Love this thing for a home bar or a regular bar. This is so great. It's a great serving mat. Look at that branding area. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, it looks so nice. You can't really see it on radio because that's radio, not TV. But it's got a really nice, huge branding area.
Yeah.
Any great addition, great gift for employees at home right now.
Yeah.
Great gift.
Well, and again, if you're doing, once events come back, what a cool way to personalize when people put that at each one of the bars at a public event. It really kind of brands it all together. That's super cool.
Well, it's a great compliment to this piece too. This is the 12 by Pelt. So if you're interested in looking at that, go to Logo Mats, search Bar Impressions. That is the name of the product, Bar Impressions. All right, Kirby, you want to do a couple quick topics before we go into the game?
Yeah, we'll make it.
What do you want to start off with?
Yeah, we'll make it really quick. So,
Yeah.
So Zoom fatigue. This is a thing that you and I talked about months ago, and I think I probably am on record. I think I said I think it's fake. Like I think it's just a new thing we're complaining about. Like and so turns out I'm wrong. So
you're wrong.
Yeah, Zoom fatigue is real. There was a study from Stanford researchers that they are saying that it's having a tangible effect on our brains. So essentially they're talking about how we are so close to one another on these Zoom calls. That's not natural, right? We're not used to being that close up in on somebody. And that's one of the reasons that's a stressor. It's not just that we're sitting on a Zoom call. It's that the way that we interact with people is actually having a stress effect on our brain. I thought that was interesting.
Yeah, we're recording this over Zoom, and I'm having some Zoom fatigue right now. So I'm just going to do that. No, all kidding aside, but we do record this on Zoom, and I do have Zoom fatigue. And one of the ways we actually combat it, we recognize at brandivate that most people are zoomed out.
Yeah.
And so we intentionally, unless a client asks for it, it's conference calls.
Yeah.
Unless they ask for it, it's conference calls. If they ask for it, great. We're happy to do that. No problem whatsoever. But just because, again, I think I wrote a blog about it. I've told you about this whenever we talked about it. There's this pressure about Zoom I don't like. And just because we have a nice toy doesn't mean we always have to use it. You can use it in moderation, and it's a great tool. When it's used in moderation, it's fabulous. When it's used all the time, I resent it.
That's fair. It's funny. I think I do have a different take on that from the most people, and I'm totally comfortable. Yeah, I'm totally comfortable with. Yeah. But I actually, and I think I may have told you this. I got on a radio call where I was just doing an interview, and it was weird to not be able to have the physical. I couldn't see if they got the joke. I couldn't see if they were nodding. I'm not used to just doing the phone call anymore. I enjoy the visual interaction.
It's not that I don't enjoy it. It's just there's something about my shoulders hunch differently. I sit differently, and fair. It's exhausting. And there's just a little more built-in pressure when you're on camera. Now I will say it does prevent me from trying to multitask, which is a good thing. But yeah, I'm not a huge fan. All right, Kirby, great, good topic.
Okay.
I just want to mention, this is more of I want to mention the T. Hamilton Creative Scholarship from Promo Kitchen. T, friend of ours, Promo Kitchen chef from when we both were as well, passed away from a lung cancer fight in December. She was such a tireless advocate for the creative professional in our industry. I mean, she was one of, that should probably be, that if we actually gave out awards, it would be the T. Hamilton
100% agree
Award.
With that. Yeah.
And, the Promo Kitchen's really intent on continuing her crusade in the area. Danny and I did a little friendly wager over bowl season.
Yep.
Raised about, I think, $500-600, maybe like $900 for it. But anyway, the T. Hamilton Creative Scholarship, I just want to mention, applications are now being accepted for that, and they're until March 26th. So you got a few more weeks left. Applicants who are chosen will have up to 80% of the cost of their chosen course or conference paid for. The winner is going to be announced April 8th. At the virtual Spring Fling Mixer. If you want to learn more, head over to promokitchen.org/donate or email scholarship@promokitchen.org. And what a great thing that Promo Kitchen, one of the things I know you and I love about that organization, especially we were part of that organization. I think I think you're always part of it once you're part of it once. it's an organization that continually puts its money where its mouth is.
Yeah.
And so we have short memories in our society, and they're working very hard, very diligently to make sure that we all remember the wonderful human and creative force of nature T. Hamilton was.
Absolutely. And you're exactly right. I mean, I remember having conversations with T where she was frustrated with the lack of creativity, and she would push that envelope. Actually, when Delivering Marketing Joy first came out, she was actually, and I didn't know T at the time, she was one of the first people who called me and said, "I'm so excited you're doing this. It looks different than everything else in our industry." And so again, she didn't know me, but she saw something that was creative in the industry, and she was like, "Keep doing it." And that's cool.
She is missed every day. Every day.
Yep.
You got one more quick topic for us? Or are you good?
I'll make this one super quick. Twitter has come out with a plan to subscription-based super followers. Have you heard about this?
No, I have not.
So this is just pretty new. They said the so-called super followers would enable users to pay for subscriptions to their favorite Twitter accounts. It would give them extra access to content. So you'd have to pay to see certain people's tweets or content. Thoughts?
I'm out. Don't care. Yeah. I mean, I get trying to monetize the platform. Twitter's been struggling forever.
Yeah.
I struggle with Twitter. And so if you give me one more reason not to be on Twitter, cool by me.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I'm 100%. As you might expect, the internet pretty much jumped up and was like, no, hey, can you Venmo me since you saw my Facebook post yesterday? Like it's that, to me, that's a model that doesn't make a ton of sense.
One last thing I want to mention before we go into our game. Have you seen the ASI promo insanity thing that they're doing?
I haven't.
Okay. So they're doing a 16 product bracket, like for March Madness, like an NCAA bracket for the best promotional product.
Okay.
And I've got some complaints.
Okay.
So they seeded you can go to asicentral.com, and it's right there on their front page.
Okay.
And t-shirts, a number 9 seed. Are you kidding me? But you give masks and PPE a number 1 seed? That's a declining category, and we all know it.
Yeah. T-shirts to me would be a number 1 seed every year. Yeah.
Yes. Tech, an 11 seed? Please. Come on. Who's doing this over there? I'm kidding. Kind of. Food gifts, 15? Come on.
Yeah.
So anyway, it's a lot of fun. You can go over there and vote. That's what they're asking people to do, is go over there and vote.
I like it.
Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Pretty good stuff. You know what else is good, Kirby?
What's that, Bill?
Time for the party in the back, Kirby. Now, I was going to go a couple different directions on this. And I actually decided each one was going to be just torture for you and not fair. So I was
great.
My initial thought was I wanted to have it woman themed. And the first thought was, I'm going to go through a series of women's first, like first woman in space in what year. And I thought, he's just going to go, I don't know any of these. How could anyone possibly know that? So I scrapped that idea. So here's what we're going to play.
Okay.
Easy game.
Oh, no.
Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Who invented it edition? So all I'm going to tell you is the invention.
Oh, okay.
I'm going to give you the invention.
Okay.
And all you need to tell me, did a man invent it?
Okay.
Or a woman invent it? See how easy breezy, lemon squeezy. Let's go.
All right.
Central heating, something that you love more than anything else in the world. Central heating. Who invented that? A man or a woman?
I'm gonna go woman.
Good. You're not a sexist pig. Alice Parker in 1919.
Yes.
Air conditioning.
I'm gonna go man on that one.
Yes. Willis Carrier in 1902. Coffee filter.
Boy, these are tough. I'm gonna go woman.
Good. Melita Benz, 1908. Ice cream maker.
Man.
Wrong. Such a misogynist. Nancy Johnson in 1843. The bottle cap and the bottle opener, also near and dear to your heart.
Yes. Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind having one of those in front of me right now. I'm going to go man.
Yes, William Painter, 1892. The game Monopoly.
Woman.
Yes, correct. Elizabeth Maggie, 1904. The circular saw.
My initial reaction would be to say man. And historically, so far in this game, every time I think I'm supposed to say man, I should say woman. So I'm going to go
Okay.
woman.
Okay, good. Tabitha Babbitt in 1812. Liquid paper.
Liquid paper. I'm going to go man.
Wrong. Betty Nesmith Graham,
Okay,
1966 or 1956. Also the mother of famous monkey Mike Nesmith.
Mike, yeah.
Retractable dog leash.
Retractable dog leash. I'm going to go woman.
Correct. Mary Delaney, 1908.
Wow, that was a long time ago.
It was. I have I think I wrote that wrong. I have no idea when it was invented.
Okay. This is fraudulent. Fraudulent game.
Fake game. Fake news. Pet rock.
A pet rock. That sounds like a dude.
Yeah, Gary Dahl, 1975. The disposable diaper. Tread carefully, Kirby.
So, if my history tells me that these were actually created by the Native Americans,
disposable diaper.
No, understood. Okay. They actually used a specific kind of plant to do it. But I'm going to go woman on this one.
That is correct. Marion Donovan, 1950. The bulletproof fiber or Kevlar vest.
Again, the standard answer would be to say a guy did it. So I'm going to go a woman did it.
Stephanie Kwolek, 1966. All right, two more, Kirby. Poopery.
Poopery is a woman.
Yes, Susie Battis.
Yep, that's right. I actually knew the answer to that. Yeah, I actually knew that one.
Squatty Potty.
Squatty Potty. I actually saw them on Shark Tank. It was actually a man and a woman, but I'm going to go woman.
Nope, man. Bobby Edwards, 2011. Yep. So what we've learned here is that women invent far better things than men for the most part. I do have two bonus ones for you.
By the way, I think I did pretty well. Like
you did. I'd say you did a solid C. Very average. No, I'd say a good B plus, a solid B plus. Okay, two industry related ones. Quick hit. Selfie stick.
Man.
Yes, Wayne Fromm, 2005. Fidget spinner.
Man.
Wrong. Woman. Catherine Hedinger, 1993. So both sexes contribute equally to the silliness of our industry. But you know who never does contribute to the silliness of our industry, Kirby?
Who's that, Bill?
That'd be our good pals over J. Charles. That's right. We know them as those recognition and award experts, but they really do help you exhibit excellence. They understand how important it is to recognize employees, reward them for their excellence, and show that to everybody. It shows you care. It shows that you really are invested in your employees more than just the work that they do. They know that recognition boosts people's self-esteem and performance, that it shows that you notice and care, and that it's increasingly important in today's business environment. Remember, they help you exhibit excellence. So head over to jcharles.com. You're not going to be sorry you did.
And hey,
a lot of great products over there. Yes, sir.
Really quickly. We talk a lot about when we talk with clients and whatever, like what you put your logo or your branding on matters. Yep. This is a great example of something. If you have a brand that you want to showcase excellence, this is the type of material you want to put it on.
No question. You walk in any client's office when you're finally allowed to do so, or remember the client's office you've been to, people have their awards displayed. Yep. They're cherished and they're exhibited all the time. So remember to exhibit excellence with J. Charles Kirby. Thank you so very much for exhibiting excellence in this podcast with me. And in all seriousness, thank you to all the wonderful women who truly do inspire all of us to do better work in our industry. And honestly, I had a great time doing this podcast, Kirby.
Thanks.